Here in Australia, this ancient land where the red earth sings and the ocean waves tell stories, there lived an ordinary bloke named Jack. He thought he was tough, resilient, standing tall like a eucalyptus tree. But the truth was, he was dragging the weight of the entire Pacific Ocean inside his heart. You'd see Jack driving his old ute, kicking up dust on a red dirt road. The back tray was crammed full of things you could unsee what you might call his 16 kinds of suffering. He'd glance in the rearview mirror and see a version of himself that was never satisfied. I have to be better. I have to have more. The clinking of chains would echo in his mind. He was upside down, treating poison like a pet, sand like a meal, sickness like a comfort, and the end of life as some kind of eternity. He'd climb Uluru and shout to the vast desert below, "Look at me. I'm higher than all of you." At night, his desires would howl like wild dingoes, and doubt would descend like a thick fog, blotting out the stars. His phone, the pub, the casino, flashes of anger, a text from an old flame. Every sense was a rope pulling him down. He was caught in a destructive relationship, dragged like he was tied to an invisible rope, sinking into a salt lake. The more he struggled, the deeper he sank. Friends taught him to take more, give less, and his heart shrank into a dry, withered desert pea. He told himself, once you're gone, it's all over. He believed a moment of pleasure was all life was about. He thought, I'm smart. I don't need anyone. He carried on like this, until one day at Bondi Beach, a massive wave crashed over him, swallowing him whole. Everything went black. All you could hear was the sound of the ocean and a low, resonant chant. And then a gentle light rose from the surface of the water. It was Guan Yan, the bodhisattva of compassion. But she didn't have 1,000 arms or 1,000 eyes. She was just standing on a surfboard, dressed in a simple white robe, looking like any other Aussie girl. Her hair was a mess from the sea breeze, but her smile could make you cry. She said softly, with a perfect Aussie accent. Jack just stood there, stunned, tears mixing with the salt water running down his face. For the first time, he emptied the back of his ute, the chains, the dingoes, the vipers, the desert peas. He tipped it all into the sea. With a wave of her hand, Guan Yan transformed the 16 sufferings into 16 white lotus flowers, floating on the reflection of the Southern Cross. She reached out and gently placed a hand over Jack's heart. In that moment, Jack saw it. Inside his own heart, there was a sacred red mountain, and at its peak, golden wattle flowers were in full bloom. What do I do now?" Jack asked, his voice thick with emotion. Guan Yan smiled. 3 things, super simple. 1. Take refuge in the Buddha trust that someone has walked this path before. 2. Take refuge in the Dharma listen to one true thing every day. 3. Take refuge in the Sangha find, a group of people who want to wake up and walk with them. And then share a little bit of the happiness you found today with the next person you see dragging an ocean. That's the Bodhisattva way. The scene pulls back. Jack is standing on the shore, and for the first time, he's truly smiling a smile like the first rays of an Australian dawn. We haven't changed the world. We just want to join you in turning the ocean in your heart into a lotus flower. If you're tired too, come on over. We've got tea, laughter, and truth. Most importantly, we've got people who are willing to walk with you to turn suffering into compassion. Great compassion isn't a distant legend. It's the next person who reaches out a hand. This is dedicated to everyone who has ever walked while carrying an ocean. You are not alone.